Welcome everyone to The Deep Dive. Today we're embarking on a bit of a different kind of journey. We're looking into a vision, really, one that aims to build some pretty profound bridges.
That's right. Across cultures, continents.
And maybe most importantly, across those subtle threads that connect us all as people.
Hmm.
Our focus is this really ambitious international concert project. It's titled Journey to the West.
A cultural odyssey.
Exactly, a cultural odyssey.
Yeah.
We feel that subtitle really captures its essence, and the insights we're discussing today, they come directly from the source, from the reflections of the project's own visionary, Lóng Tíng.
Indeed. And it's important for you, the listener, to understand that what you're hearing isn't just, a standard project outline or some kind of PR pitch.
First, not at all.
It's much more like a tapestry. It's woven from, well, artistic hopes, a really deep cultural philosophy that seems to guide every single decision,
Mm-hmm.
and also a very candid look at the practical challenges. And believe me, there are challenges in bringing something like this, a global artistic project, to life.
Definitely sounds complex.
It is. And we really want to emphasize this isn't just about the music itself or, the stage setup. It's fundamentally about this intricate dance of diplomacy, of finding understanding.
And building real human connection in a world that often feels quite divided.
Precisely.
So our mission today in this deep dive is exactly that. We want to unpack the vision behind Journey to the West, layer by layer.
Explore its cultural roots, which are quite deep.
And get into the artistic aspirations, which are, frankly, sky high.
And then face the hurdles, the logistical ones, the diplomatic ones.
Yeah.
They're significant.
Yeah, let's not shy away from those. Ultimately, we want to shed some light on what it really takes, what it means to build trust in this global arts world.
Okay.
Okay, let's dive in. Let's unpack this. So thinking about where this all began, the genesis of it all, it starts almost poetically, doesn't it? With this moment of quiet reflection.
It does. The source mentions, before the first note is played, before the stage lights rise, there is silence.
That's powerful.
And it goes on to say that this silence isn't empty. It's full of stories, histories.
Like rivers of history.
Exactly. Rivers of history and the weight of oceans between us. Both literal and metaphorical oceans, I think.
Yeah, you can feel that. It speaks to this deep anticipation, this stillness that holds everything that came before. The music that hasn't been played yet.
It's an acknowledgement, isn't it, of
Yeah.
the vastness of the past, all the different stories that make us who we are, and the distances, geographical, cultural, that have kept us apart.
Distances that art, hopefully, can help bridge.
That's the core idea. Honoring that space before the creation begins. And right after that poetic opening, there's this fundamental statement, the guiding principle, really.
Which is,
Journey to the West is not just a concert, it is a bridge.
the bridge metaphor.
Yes, a bridge across languages, across nations, across the subtle threads that tie human hearts together. And this isn't just a catchy phrase for them.
No, it feels central.
It is. It's a living principle. A
Yeah.
bridge implies connection, passage, allowing people to meet, to exchange ideas.
Right, it's active, not passive.
Exactly. Fostering real, deep, cross-cultural understanding. Moving beyond just, noticing differences to actually feeling some empathy, having a shared experience.
It implies a two-way street, too, meeting in the middle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not one culture just observing another. This bridge, it's built with melodies, with shared understanding, not concrete.
And building on that, there's this idea about culture itself that really stood out to me.
Which part?
The idea that culture isn't just an ornament, not just something pretty to look at.
Ah, yes, but a living force.
Exactly. A living force that needs to be carried carefully with both hands like a bowl of water.
That analogy is so vivid.
Isn't it? It immediately makes you think of fragility, but also vitality. Water is essential, life-sustaining.
And carrying it carefully implies respect, stewardship. You can't just be careless with it.
You spill it, it's diminished, its essence is lost. So preserving and sharing culture, it's this active, delicate thing, requires reverence, real effort.
Being a devoted steward, not just a casual observer. And that sense of careful stewardship, it feeds directly into the artistic vision from the very start.
How so?
Well, the vision isn't described as just, a collection of songs or performers. It's framed as not simply music, but a procession of worlds.
A procession of worlds. I like that.
And then each artist a lantern, each song a path through the night.
Wow. Okay, so that's deliberately moving away from just spectacle.
Absolutely. It calls for a really thoughtful curation. The lanterns and paths, metaphor guides everything. It's about depth, about storytelling, not just a flashy show.
Each lantern casting its own unique light.
Right. And each path suggesting a journey and unfolding story. Each artist brings their own narrative, guiding the audience.
Which leads to a really important question they must be grappling with.
Which is,
How do you combine all these different worlds, these lanterns, without dimming any of them? How do you make sure each tradition shines within the whole?
that's the ongoing challenge, isn't it? Finding that balance between the individual brilliance and the collective harmony, a constant dance.
Which brings us to the sheer scope of this vision. It's not just abstract, it's very specific geographically and culturally, but also incredibly broad.
Yes, the source paints this amazing picture. From the temples of Hanoi to the neon streets of Seoul.
From the quiet alleys of Kyoto to the mountains of Sichuan.
From the tropical rains of Bangkok to the steel rhythms of Tokyo. Just think about that range within Asia alone.
It's breathtaking, so many diverse narratives, and then it's framed as
A weaving of East and West that does not flatten differences, but lets them shine side by side.
and that feels like the absolute key. It's not about making everything sound the same, some generic global mush.
No, definitely not homogenization.
It's about celebrating the unique textures, the colors, the rhythms, the stories of each culture, letting them resonate together without losing what makes them special.
It's a belief that real harmony comes from the interplay of distinct, cherished parts, not from sameness.
So from that huge vision, thoughts naturally turn to the artists, the actual people, the voices, the dream list.
Right. Described as a constellation distant, dazzling, and worth the journey.
That evokes such a sense of aspiration, doesn't it? Something you have to really strive for, but the reward is immense.
It frames the artists as the very soul of the project, the heart of that procession of worlds. Each name, a potential lantern.
And this is crucial. It's vital to state up front, as the source does.
Absolutely critical.
Yeah.
This is our vision board, not a confirmed lineup.
Right. It's a wish list, an ideal, a collection of voices they feel resonate with the project's spirit.
And it's quite a list. It spans genres, cultures, countries. Really underlines that tapestry metaphor. We're talking about artists whose work already crosses borders.
Okay, let's get into some names. Who's on this vision board?
Well, from Vietnam, they're dreaming of artists like Uk Phuc, Karik, Hong Ku Lin, Huyen Lin.
Soulful, rap, vibrant stage presence, nuanced artistry.
Yeah.
A real mix already.
Fan Man Quan for storytelling. Trung Quan with those soaring vocals, the powerful energy of Tung Dun, the pop sounds of Mono, and the emotion in Eric's performances. A fantastic snapshot of contemporary Vietnamese music rooted in history.
Okay. And from China.
The vision includes Henry Hu, known for blending tradition and artistry, the creative force of Hua Chenyu, the unique operatic style of Li Yugong,
Legends and innovators.
the iconic Jay Chou, and the global star power of Jackson Wang, representing both deep roots and modern sounds.
And Korea. Obviously, huge global interest there.
Yes, the vision board features global phenomena like BTS, whose music connects universally.
Can't argue with that.
The individual artistry of Jungkook and V, the group dynamics of GOT7, and Holland, Go T-Sep, who's really a pioneer.
Interesting mix.
Also Zushen, often linked with Chinese music, but his voice is incredible, and he has strong connections in Korea, too. And Forestella, the crossover quartet.
Ah, I know them. Unique sound.
And then there's PSI. Now, this isn't necessarily the famous Psy. It seems to represent more of a category. Maybe innovative, boundary-pushing performers.
Yeah.
It shows the vision isn't just about the biggest names.
Right, looking beyond pure commercial success. Okay, who else?
From Thailand, Nat Thufangam. From Japan, the energy of Man with a Mission and the anthemic rock of Bumpa Chicken.
Both bands with huge international followings.
Also groups like Big Ocean, Breaking New Ground, and the innovative Mad Psy. And crucially, the list adds, and more whose music has touched hearts in ways charts can't measure.
That really drives the point home. It's about resonance, depth, connection, not just sales figures or streams.
Exactly.
Wow. That is, well, it's an incredible roster, a true constellation. But then the source brings us back down to earth, doesn't it? Contrasting the vision with the current reality.
It does, quite directly, stating, for now, we have reached only a few. 4 voices in a sea of 40.
4 out of 40.
Each connection precious and hard-won. That disparity, that gap between the dream of 40 and the reality of 4, it says so much about the challenges.
The sheer difficulty involved, building each connection, lighting each lantern, takes immense effort.
It's a stark reminder that even the most heartfelt visions have to deal with the tough, practicalities of the global industry.
It makes you realize that every single artist confirmed isn't just a win, it's a huge achievement, born from real perseverance.
Which leads us directly into what the source calls the long corridors of reality.
And the gates guarding these global projects.
Yes, and what's refreshing, I think, is how upfront they are about these barriers. No sugarcoating.
It actually builds trust, that transparency.
Paradoxically, yes. It shows they understand the landscape they're navigating. These aren't just small hurdles, they're systemic realities.
And they're specific gates, aren't they? Not just vague difficulties. The source lists them.
It does. Management contracts, agency protocols, unspoken politics, and the careful diplomacy of art at an international scale.
Let's unpack those a bit. Management contracts, they're not just about schedules, right?
Oh, far from it. They can dictate brand alignment, revenue splits, where an artist can perform, even what kinds of projects they can do. Super specific.
And agency protocols, like rules for even making contact.
Exactly. Rigid rules. Maybe you can only approach through a specific global PR firm, or there's a huge guaranteed fee just to start talking, which is tough for an exploratory project like this.
Unspoken politics. That sounds tricky. Geopolitical stuff.
It can be. Delicate relationships between countries, historical sensitivities, making collaborations really difficult without high-level diplomatic help.
And the careful diplomacy of art, meaning it's more than just business.
Much more. These are often symbolic acts loaded with cultural meaning. They need incredible finesse, patience, understanding of the whole ecosystem. One wrong step.
And a door closes permanently. You can't just throw money at these problems.
No. They demand respect, insight, real commitment. And the source really pinpoints the core challenge quite powerfully.
What's the absolute hardest part, according to them?
The hardest part is not arranging the stage, the lights, or the orchestra. It is reaching the artists in a way that honors their time, their commitments, and the traditions they represent.
That really hits home. The biggest hurdles aren't the physical logistics, they're the human and systemic ones.
And acknowledging that the music industry has built walls around its brightest stars, walls for protection, for managing demand.
But they inadvertently create isolation.
Exactly. Getting through requires persistence, yes, but also deep respect for this system. And for the artists themselves, their time, their brand, their culture, their existing deals.
It's like a fortress that needs a very specific key.
That's a good way to put it.
And yet, amidst all that difficulty, there's this incredibly hopeful note.
The counterpoint.
Yeah. And yet, we believe walls can become doors with the right key.
Right.
And the key is trust.
Ah, trust. There it is again. Fundamental.
Especially here, you're asking huge stars, incredibly busy people to commit to something new, collaborative, maybe even risky for them. How do you earn that trust?
It suggests the project has to prove its authenticity, its integrity, right from the start, even before getting direct access. It's a slow burn.
A long game, not instant results.
Definitely. And the source explains how that trust is built. It comes from patience, from showing that this is not a commercial stunt, but a genuine cultural gathering.
So proving its sincerity.
Yes. And from proving that every artist will be given the dignity of their own space, their own story, their own place in the great weaving of the night.
Dignity of their own space. What does that entail practically?
I think it means artistic freedom, fair treatment, respecting their narratives, making sure they shine as individuals within the whole, not just get absorbed.
Right, but how do you demonstrate that when you maybe can't even talk to them directly yet behind those walls?
That's the crux. It implies that the reputation of the organization, Lóng Tíng Enterprises, their track record, perhaps smaller projects, building credibility, that has to speak for itself first.
Building a portfolio of integrity.
Exactly. It's a long, deliberate game of showing you're worthy of that trust.
And underneath all the vision and diplomacy, there's what the source calls the invisible labor, the unseen effort.
And the description really paints a picture of the sheer scale.
Flights negotiated across time zones. Just imagine coordinating travel for dozens, maybe hundreds of people, artists, crews, managers.
All needing to arrive precisely, dealing with jet lag, different airlines.
Visas processed in embassies, getting work permits from maybe 20 different nationalities, each with unique rules, processing times.
Especially for high-profile people, security checks, diplomatic angles. It's a labyrinth.
Instruments shipped in custom crates, not just guitars, maybe priceless traditional instruments, grand pianos.
Requiring climate control, customs declarations for huge values, secure transport across continents. It's a massive logistical operation.
And lighting cues synchronized across cultures of stagecraft. That's fascinating too, different expectations, right?
Completely. What's dramatic lighting for one style might clash totally with another, like traditional opera versus K-pop. It needs cross-cultural technical fluency.
Managing crews with different work styles, communication, wow.
It really is a huge unseen symphony happening behind the scenes. Without it, the magic just doesn't happen.
And at the core of all that hidden work,
The human element.
right, especially the artists themselves, artists who have never met, learning to share a stage not as competitors, but as co-storytellers.
That's where the vision truly comes alive. It's not just about putting them on the same stage, Bill.
No, they have to genuinely connect, collaborate, become a cohesive creative force.
Which takes more than just talent. It requires emotional intelligence, openness, stepping outside comfort zones.
Engaging with unfamiliar styles, different musical languages.
It's a deep emotional and creative process, moving beyond solo performance to create something genuinely new and shared.
A challenge that goes beyond language, demanding vulnerability, deep listening, maybe even changing how they see their own art.
Could be. Maybe workshops beforehand, sharing stories, learning basic phrases in each other's languages. Things to build that human connection needed for true co-storytelling.
So, with all this immense effort, planning, diplomacy, what does success actually look like for a project like this? It can't just be ticket sales.
And the source powerfully challenges that standard idea. It is tempting to measure success in ticket sales or streams.
No?
But for me, success is when two artists from different worlds leave the stage as friends.
Wow, that shifts everything.
Doesn't it? And
Oh.
when a song is no longer owned by its singer, but by the audience who carries it home in their breath.
Carries it home in their breath. That's beautiful. It completely redefines success away from numbers towards connection, shared experience.
Lasting intangible things. The resonance of a song becoming a collective memory, part of the listener's emotional world.
So what does that imply for the future of global cultural exchange?
It suggests the real impact isn't fleeting commercial wins, but fostering deep relationships and creating shared stories that live on, long after the music stops.
It's almost a spiritual take on art's power to build those intangible, vital bonds.
I think so.
Given the scale and complexity we've been talking about, it's crystal clear that this journey isn't just artistic.
No, it's deeply diplomatic too.
The project can't just rely on its artistic merit alone. It needs that external official support to get through those gates of reality.
Absolutely. This highlights the indispensable role of cultural diplomacy, which is an art form in itself.
And the source names specific partners who are key to breaking through.
Yes, essential allies.
Yeah.
Cultural ministries, ambassadors, and the great institutions that stand at the crossroads of art and policy. UNESCO, the United Nations, the European Union.
These aren't just names for show. Their involvement signals real backing, credibility.
Exactly. They have the networks, the weight, the established ways of facilitating international cultural exchange at the highest levels.
Their endorsement can open doors that would otherwise stay firmly shut, bypassing skepticism, bureaucracy.
They're like the architects of the bigger stage this needs.
And the source explains why their involvement is so crucial. It's not just symbolic.
Right. It says their letters of support, their introductions, their endorsements are not mere formalities. They are the passports.
Passport, that's the perfect word.
Isn't it? That allow a project like this to cross borders, both literal and symbolic. A passport validates your entry, your purpose.
So these official endorsements act like that validation. They signal to management, agencies, artists, the public, this is significant, legitimate, backed at a high level.
It cuts through doubt, streamlines processes, allows the project to cross those borders of trust and access, gives it a gravitas you have to earn.
And earning that trust, getting those passports takes time.
A lot of time. The force emphasizes that trust is not built overnight. It requires patience, persistence, a long-term view.
Which really highlights the nature of cultural diplomacy itself.
Yes, these are slow and deliberate processes. Building relationships with ministries, getting UNESCO's backing, connecting with ambassadors, it can take years.
Years of consistent engagement, proving your intent, your integrity, your viability.
It shows that meaningful international collaboration isn't just a transaction. It's about cultivating mutual respect, shared goals, belief in the power of exchange.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Definitely. And the success of Journey to the West really hinges on navigating those long diplomatic corridors with dedication.
Let's circle back to the title itself, Journey to the West. The source offers a really deep interpretation beyond just geography.
It does. It says, the West in Journey to the West is not a place on a map. It is the unknown, the place we have not yet reached.
The unknown. That's fascinating.
The East is not simply where we begin. It is the place that gives us roots.
So it avoids that simple, often limiting East meets West idea. The West becomes a metaphor for exploration, pushing boundaries of understanding, reaching for connection.
Venturing beyond comfort zones. And the East isn't left behind. It's the source of identity, heritage, strength, where our stories start.
So you draw strength from your roots to explore the unknown.
Precisely.
And then the source adds,
Between them lies the path we walk together.
the path we walk together. So the path itself is the point, the journey.
Yes, it symbolizes the ongoing process of dialogue, mutual understanding, learning from each other, not arriving at one single answer, but the active conversation between traditions,
The space where connections are made, differences explored with respect.
where that weaving of East and West happens without flattening things, allowing differences to shine side by side. The journey is the goal, fostering evolving understanding.
It's a commitment to keep discovering.
Right.
And because of all that, the concert becomes more than just entertainment. It's framed as a statement.
A powerful one. That Asia is not a monolith and the West is not a single voice.
Which actively pushes back against stereotypes. Asia is incredibly diverse, the West is too.
And that global culture is not a product, but a conversation.
Product versus conversation, that's a key distinction. Products are consumed passively. Conversations require active participation.
They're dynamic, reciprocal, they evolve.
And in our current age, dominated by screens and algorithms, the source argues we still need the living, unrepeatable moment of a stage shared in real time.
That feels almost urgent. A call for authenticity, real connection in a virtual world.
Highlighting the magic of live performance, the energy exchange, the unique moments you can't replicate digitally.
It's a statement about the enduring power of shared physical presence, shared breath, in a world that can feel very distant emotionally.
Despite this powerful vision, the source remains incredibly realistic about the road ahead.
Remarkably so, acknowledging we are not naive about the challenges. We know that some calls will go unanswered.
Some invitations will be lost in the machinery of management.
We know that even with ministries and ambassadors opening doors, some will remain closed. That's not romanticizing things at all.
No, it's a very clear-eyed view, which makes you wonder, how do you keep the optimism, the drive, facing inevitable setbacks like that?
It suggests a deep belief in the vision itself, perhaps. Recognizing the value is in the journey, the integrity of the attempt, not just the final list of names.
Accepting potential failure actually strengthens the resolve, focusing on the process.
Perhaps. It allows them to focus on building connections, rather than fixating only on one specific outcome, nurturing the seed, even in hard soil.
So the work continues, described as quiet and steady.
Letters sent, calls made, meetings held in conference rooms and tea houses. It's that persistent day-to-day effort.
No big bang, just constant, gentle pressure requires huge patience.
And the source uses that beautiful image, carrying the vision like a lantern through the wind, knowing it could go out at any time and knowing we will light it again if it does.
The lantern again, acknowledging the fragility, the threats, but also that unwavering commitment to relight it, no matter what.
It speaks to incredible resilience, enduring hope against the odds.
And that perseverance leads to this really profound redefinition of the concert's purpose. It's not dependent on the final lineup.
Exactly. When the night of the concert arrives, whether it is with all 40 artists or only a handful, it will still be what it was always meant to be.
Which is?
A space where the ancient and the new, the near and the far, stand side by side. A space where music is not just performed, but offered.
Offered, like a gift. That's liberating. Success isn't tied to the number of stars, but to creating that sacred space for exchange, for meeting.
Music as an offering of shared humanity, traditions, contemporary voices. It makes the event meaningful regardless of the commercial scale or final roster.
A sanctuary for shared cultural breath.
Beautifully put.
And that brings us full circle, back to the heart of it, redefining the title itself.
Yes, we call it Journey to the West, but really, it is a journey to each other.
Simple, but incredibly profound. It distills the whole philosophy. The journey isn't geographical, it's relational.
About connection, understanding, the bridges between hearts and minds. Built one note, one conversation at a time. That's the real destination.
And what really stays with you, I think, is the way the reflection ends, with this direct address to the listener.
It's very captivating. If you are listening to this, perhaps you are part of the journey already.
Perhaps you know someone who knows someone.
Perhaps your voice is one of the many we hope to hear in the great chorus to come.
It's not just a closing remark, it's a genuine invitation.
An invitation to participate, not just listen, to become a thread in the tapestry.
Exactly. Acknowledging that these big visions need networks of passion, shared enthusiasm, that collective desire for connection.
A reminder that even small connections, a word passed along, can contribute to the larger chorus, the journey towards each other.
What an extraordinary way to involve you, the listener, in this ongoing story.
It really is such a powerful thought to end our deep dive on. This grand project ultimately comes down to individual connections, building trust, the universal need for common ground.
So as you, our listener, go about your day, maybe just ponder that. How can we build similar bridges in our own lives, even without a big concert stage?
A shared meal, a curious conversation about different traditions.
Simply an open mind, an open heart. The journey to each other is always possible, always worthwhile.
Indeed.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the vision behind Journey to the West. It's certainly been a beautiful reminder for us that the greatest journeys are often the ones we take towards each other, through culture, through our shared humanity. Until next time on The Deep Dive.